Can you ever recast a story that feels stitched into an entire generation's childhood? Today, we're talking about HBO's reboot of Harry Potter and why a brand new cast has sparked deeper questions about legacy, loyalty, and what it really means to begin again. When HBO announced they were rebooting Harry Potter with an entirely new cast, the fandom basically exploded into 1,000 different conversations happening at once. Some people felt betrayed. How dare you touch what's already perfect? Others got excited immediately. Finally, a chance to really do the book's justice. HBO auditioned over 32,000 children for the main trio. Dominic McLaughlin, Arabella Stanton, and Alistair Stout emerged as the new Harry, Hermione, and Ron, and they're basically unknowns. This choice has split the fandom into two pretty clear camps. One perspective argues this is the smart move. These kids are the right age for the characters as written in the books, 11 and 12, not teens playing kids. The books are about children discovering magic, not teenagers navigating Hogwarts like it's a boarding school drama. Without famous faces anchoring the trio, maybe the story actually gets to breathe without the distraction of recognizing an actor from something else. The counter-argument is solid too. The original films gave us perfect casting chemistry that took 8 movies to build. These young actors have never carried a show of this scale before. There's legitimate concern about whether they can handle a decade-long commitment to a franchise of this magnitude. Both perspectives are based on valid observations about how casting shapes storytelling. Papa Essedu as Severus Snape has become the casting everyone wants to parse. Alan Rickman's performance is basically untouchable in collective memory. He made Snape tragic and layered and human in ways that changed how readers understood the character. Essedu is an incredible actor. His breakout in I May Destroy You was Emmy-nominated and proved his range with complex, morally ambiguous characters. There's genuine conversation happening about what his casting means. Some fans see it as an opportunity for the character to evolve. Snape's motivations, his bitterness, his connection to Lily and James and Harry could potentially deepen with fresh interpretation. Others note that casting does change character reading, and wondering how or if that serves the story is a fair question to ask. The character's arc involves understanding that people aren't always what they seem, and that redemption can be complicated. Whether a new interpretation enriches that or complicates it is something fans are legitimately unpacking. One of the strongest arguments for a TV reboot is that it gives female characters actual space to exist. In film, there are time constraints. In a series with 1 season per book, there's room to actually develop women as full characters instead of plot devices. Hermione doesn't have to be just the exposition machine. She can be selfish sometimes, brilliant other times, learning who she is across multiple seasons. Molly Weasley has complexity in the books that the films only hinted at. Ambition for her children, real anger and protectiveness, her own past and dreams. McGonagall is more than a strict teacher. She's a strategist and a woman with her own opinions about what's happening at Hogwarts. The female professors like Sprout and Pumphrey could be developed beyond one-scene appearances. J.K. Rowling is an executive producer on this show. She's involved in the creative process, and she's also spent years making public statements about sex and gender that have fractured the fandom in significant ways. The situation is genuinely tangled. Essedu, cast as Snape, signed an open letter supporting trans rights. Emma Watson and Daniel Radcliffe have publicly disagreed with Rowling's positions on these issues. HBO has stated that the series won't be infused with Rowling's personal politics, that the focus will be on the book's core themes of love, acceptance, and friendship. The show's scripts, as far as publicly disclosed, don't appear to be pushing any particular ideology on these issues, but separating the content from the creator's involvement is complicated. Production of this show means money goes to Rowling. For some fans, that's an immediate deal breaker, regardless of what appears on screen. For others, it's a compromise they're willing to make if the show's content aligns with the book's themes of inclusion. There's no clean answer here because the question itself involves weighing different values: ethics, nostalgia, the relationship between creator and creation, what it means to support something. Warwick Davis is returning as Professor Flitwick, the only original cast member confirmed. His presence creates an interesting bridge between the old films and the new show. It's a signal that the reboot isn't an erasure of what came before, but a continuation told differently. Daniel Radcliffe has said he's fine sitting on the sidelines and watching as an audience member. He's actively not pursuing a cameo or connection between himself and the new actor playing Harry. He's framed it as letting the new cast breathe without the pressure of legacy casting looking over their shoulders. Whether that's the right creative choice depends on what the show ultimately needs. Underneath all the specific casting debates is a bigger question. What does faithfulness actually mean in adaptation? Is it faithful to recreate the films fans grew up with? Is it faithful to the books those films adapted? Is it faithful to the spirit of the story, which might mean telling it differently because TV allows for different pacing and depth? Or is faithfulness impossible because everyone carries their own version in their head and nothing external will match that private experience? Different people have different answers based on what the books meant to them. Someone who reads the books as a character study might prioritize different casting casting and pacing decisions than someone who reads them as a fantasy adventure. Someone who connected with the book's themes of acceptance and friendship might prioritize different things than someone who connected with the magic system and world building. There's no objective answer here because the question itself is built on personal experience. The HBO reboot exists in a complicated landscape right now, and the fandom is going to have strong opinions about it. The conversation's happening now about diversity in casting, about what faithful adaptation means, about whether female characters deserve more development, about the relationship between creator and creation. These are worth having because, like it or not, what they do with this new series is going to affect the legacy of a well-loved story and its impact on a whole new generation. What do you think of the new cast? What would you want from this adaptation that the films didn't explore? Drop your thoughts in the comments. This is Ladies First, watching women in movies. Here, we empower women by reviewing and discussing films that highlight their stories, struggles, and achievements. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments.